going on, everybody? Joseph Hadid here for Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your news, your local community. Good morning, sports family. Thank you for joining us. It is Friday, November 18th, 2022. This is your host, Joseph Hadid, here live on YouTube channel for the Recorded Podcast. Again, this is your podcast, your news, your sports, your local community. Hopefully everybody had a great week and ready for this upcoming weekend. And ladies and gentlemen, before I get started, I just want to say last week we did not have a live podcast due to my sports marketer feeling under the weather. He was not feeling well. And ladies and gentlemen, we have more information regarding my sports marketer. I will bring that to your attention throughout this show. But before we do, we got some top news to recap that transpired this past week here on your podcast this morning on Friday, November 18, 2022. So first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off with the game that transpired last week in the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, the NFL has been historic with international games. And they finally, the NFL opened up, and they're going to be opening up for future years to come in playing games at Germany, folks. So Germany finally hosted an NFL game, and the first team to witness and open up to Germany were the Seattle Seahawks versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's get right to it. Seattle Seahawks Bruce Irvin mentioned that the field for Munich game was terrible. So again, they were playing at Munich Stadium, ladies and gentlemen, and he said the field conditions were horrific. As Sunday's first NFL regular season game in Munich began to recede into memory, there will only be one thing anyone involved will think ill of is that field. That became clear Monday when Seahawks edge rusher Bruce Irvin tweeted criticism of the grass field at Allianz Arena, the home of the European soccer powerhouse FC Bayern Munich. Players throughout the game seemed to struggle with the field, which might have been slicker due to recent rain and fog. The Seahawks sent a small group to Munich before the game to check out the site, as well as hotels, bus routes, and other logistics. They had players pick shoes for the trip before leaving and attempted to prepare for a variety of conditions. Ladies and gentlemen, also, not only were the field conditions terrible for the Seahawks and Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, but ladies and gentlemen, also NFL's Germany game draw big and also engaged the crowd. And ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about a awesome attendance nonetheless that transpired last Sunday in the NFL. With that being said, the NFL's first regular season foray into Germany appeared to be an unqualified success. The attendance at Munich's Allianz Arena for the Buccaneers and Seahawks was recorded at 69,811 in attendance, folks. Seemingly all of those fans still at their seats well after the Bucs' 21-16 victory. The exuberance of the crowd never seemed to wane for the game's 2-hour and 48-minute duration. Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady said in his quotes, ladies and gentlemen, that was spectacular. I mean, the stadium was rocking. The crowd singing Country Roads and Sweet Caroline. It felt like it was a Red Sox game out there. It was amazing, the whole experience. And ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I mentioned this, folks. The NFL has announced this past week that the Germany games will continue in the suitable future. With that being said, Germany games, ladies and gentlemen, I think according to Roger Goodell, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. So Roger Goodell, ladies and gentlemen, he has stated and informed the people this past week that the NFL will stage at least 4 games in Germany through the year 2025. All right, so awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Great news to hear, as the NFL is going to be expanding internationally for future years to come, which is incredible news nonetheless. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Caroline O'Connor named Marlins president, the first major team with women as president. O'Connor is the second woman to serve as president of Major League Baseball team, following Katie Griggs of the Seattle Mariners. But the Marlins are the first major U.S. sports franchise to have women as both president and general manager. Miami hired Kim Nig as general manager back in the year 2020, and she became the first woman to hold the position in one of the 4 major sports leagues. O'Connor has been with the Marlins since 2017, working as the chief operating officer since 2019. She is expected to oversee all of the club's business operations, including sales and marketing. How amazing is that? Women, ladies and gentlemen, are definitely getting involved and making a name for themselves in the sports community. Truly, truly tremendous. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now there is something else that needs to be talked about in the NFL, and it was last Sunday what we witnessed, ladies and gentlemen, history in the making. And a lot of people said, ladies and gentlemen, this was the best catch from Justin Jefferson that topped it all. And the last person, wide receiver, to do that, ladies and gentlemen, was Odell Beckham Jr. So technically, folks, Justin Jefferson just topped that with his best performance on that one-handed catch, ladies and gentlemen, that everybody watched and tuned in last week between the Buffalo Bills and the Minnesota Vikings game. Let's get right to it, folks. Justin Jefferson has racked up his recorded number of 100 and 150-yard games in his first 3 seasons. How incredible is that? Vikings receiver Justin Jefferson had the catch of a lifetime on Sunday. Probably the catch of the year. I mean, I think this is probably the game of the year nonetheless. A one-handed snag in traffic on 4th and 18. He also racked up 193 receiving yards per the league. It was Jefferson's 20th career 100-yard game. He now owns the record for the most such efforts in the first 3 years of a player's career. The 2 players with 19 were Randy Moss and Odell Beckham, who had 19 each. Jefferson also passed Moss and Lance Allworth for the most 150-yard games in the first 3 years of his career. Jefferson has 7. Moss and Allworth have 6. And Jefferson still has 8 games to play. Ladies and gentlemen, also speaking of the Buffalo Bills, this was not actually stated in the notes, but ladies and gentlemen, I need to talk about this real quick before we move forward throughout this show here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a weather report actually. So it's been addressed to us and been brought to our attention that later this upcoming week of the NFL, I believe going into week 11 this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, the Buffalo Bills will not be playing at Orchard Park, New York, due to snowstorm that they're going to be encountering for the game, which will be on Sunday, scheduled at 1 o'clock p.m. It's going to stay that way, but it will not be played at Orchard Park, New York, ladies and gentlemen, because weather reports have confirmed that Buffalo, New York is expected to get 3 to 6 feet of snow. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you're not hearing incorrectly here. This is true facts. They are expected to get lake effect snow that will probably impact the city of Buffalo, with snowfall rates expected 3 to 6 feet, folks. That's like almost maybe 1 to 3 inches per hour following rates. So with that being said, folks, the Detroit Lions have approved that the Buffalo Bills could go play at Ford Field against the Cleveland Browns this upcoming Sunday at 1 o'clock p.m. kickoff time. With that being said, the Detroit Lions, ladies and gentlemen, will be traveling to East Rutherford to take on the New York Giants. After that, folks, on Thanksgiving Day, which will be a Thursday, folks, the Buffalo Bills will not be going anywhere. They're going to stay in Detroit to prepare for the Detroit Lions, because, ladies and gentlemen, the Buffalo Bills will be taking on Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day, ladies and gentlemen. That'll be next Thursday. So just to clarify that with you, we had to throw that out there. So Buffalo, ladies and gentlemen, will be staying in Detroit due to inclement weather, and for the safety of everybody, ladies and gentlemen, it is hard to play in 3 to 6 feet of snow. Let alone you can't see the players on the field, and where they can't even read where the end zone or the field goal post is going to be located. So it's, and not to mention, folks, low visibility rates are going to be horrific in playing conditions. So that is the weather report and latest updates on the Buffalo Bills and what their schedule going to be looking like the next couple days. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk about this gentleman here. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're all familiar with Jim Mattress Mack McIngvale, who later this year, ladies and gentlemen, he put 43, or I think it was $4 million in the beginning of the season on the Houston Astros to win the World Series, which they did, and he won a sports betting history record $75 million. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right to it, because he did something else. Jim Mattress Mack McIngvale bet $1.5 million on the Houston Cougars, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, so watch out, college basketball fans, watch out. Jim Mattress Mack McIngvale is back with a high-rolling bet on the Cougars. McIngvale has placed another $1 million bet on Houston. Their current odds right now are plus 900 to win the national championship. According to Action Network, he has bet a total of $1.5 million to win $14 million altogether if the Houston Cougars accomplish come March Madness. While some may think that's risky considering the powerhouses at play, the Texas furniture magnate brought home a massive profit when he bet on the Astros, ladies and gentlemen, again, as I mentioned, to win the World Series. He won approximately, again, ladies and gentlemen, $75 million on a series of bets, which was the largest payout in sports betting history. How incredible is that? The guy continues to be on a sports gambling rampage as we speak. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's move over to some NHL hockey news here. The Sharks will listen to trade offers for Karlsson, ladies and gentlemen. The San Jose Sharks will listen if teams inquire about Erik Karlsson, ladies and gentlemen, before the NHL trade deadline on March 3rd, said General Manager Mike Greer, who will discuss any potential deal with the defensive man. Karlsson has no trade clause in the 8-year contract he signed with the Sharks on June 17, 2019. Karlsson leads the NHL defenseman in goals with 10 total and points 24, and is tied for 4th among NHL skaters in points with the Colorado Avalanche, ladies and gentlemen, center Nathan MacKinnon, 4 goals and 20 assists. The 32-year-old won the Norris Trophy twice, voted the NHL's best defensive man with the Ottawa Senators in 2011, 2012, and 2014-2015 season. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Major League Baseball news to go over here with you, and you probably have already heard the news out of the Boston Red Sox organization here. Boston Red Sox have made new offers to Bogaerts and Devers. The Red Sox have made 2 new contract offers to Xander Bogaerts and 1 new offer to Rafael Devers since the end of the World Series. Team president Sam Kennedy told the Boston Globe at the owners' meeting Wednesday, terms of the offers are unknown. Bogaerts is a free agent after opting out of his contract, while Devers is scheduled to become a free agent in the offseason. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, also the Mariners and the Blue Jays are both considering outfielder help after the trade. The Seattle Mariners added all-star corner outfielder Teoscar Hernandez, ladies and gentlemen, in a 3-player trade on Wednesday. But but that doesn't mean they're done adding to their collection. Rather, the Mariners continue to see outfield additions, according to Major League Baseball Network John Morosi. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the San Diego Padres have decided to bring back Martinez. The Padres have agreed to a new 3-year deal with free agent right-hander Nick Martinez worth $26 million, according to reports. Martinez had opted out of the remaining 3 years and $18 million on his old contract, meaning that he received a raise nonetheless. Congratulations to him on that amazing deal. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the World Cup. And speaking of the World Cup, ladies and gentlemen, that begins this upcoming Sunday, November 20th, 2022. And I believe our first matchup is going to be USA versus Wales. I think that takes place on Monday, November 21st. Let's break it all down to you, ladies and gentlemen, and what's going on in the World Cup of 2022. Now is the official Qatar World Cup slogan. Yes, now is the official Qatar World Cup slogan, ladies and gentlemen. A message perhaps to focus on the present and the on-field action that is about to begin. To move on from the past, if only it were that simple. It says a great deal that Qatar 2022 is considered by many to be the most controversial sports mega event in a very long time. After all, the competition for such a title is considerable. Yet despite the scale of the human rights atrocities, ladies and gentlemen, despite the scale of the human rights atrocities and fears, such events have been used to embolden their autocratic regimes. It is arguably Qatar that has provoked most dismay and anger during the 12 years since world governing body FIFA shocked the world by handing it the right to organize football's showpiece event. Yeah, so, and ladies and gentlemen, I think based off research, last time we even witnessed a World Cup winner was, I think, back in 2019 when France took it all, I believe so. I could be wrong, but I think France was the last time we actually had a World Cup winner. So it's been a couple years in the making, not very long, but I mean, I would say, 3-4 years we're talking about here. So again, who will prevail, huh? I mean, who will become our champion this year in the World Cup of 2022 that will be hosted at Qatar? Be very interesting. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, that's all for this week. Again, ladies and gentlemen, subscribe, share it out, tune in to our recorded podcasts that take place every Friday of each week for all the latest sports updates that happen throughout the week. And again, ladies and gentlemen, yes, again, subscribe it, share it out, let it be known. Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your sports, your news, your local community. Your host, Joseph Hadid, here for all the latest. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go, though, I got some news to share with you. Due to the World Cup events that will be taking place starting this Sunday, November 20th, 2022, all the way until December 18th of 2022. It's going to be a 1-month event. Ladies and gentlemen, I have something to share with you. For the remainder of the 2022 season, Worldwide Sport Updates live podcast that usually takes place on Sundays, it's going to be off air for the remainder of the 2022 season. We will not resume operations until the year 2023. With that being said, our expected date to resume live podcast on Sunday will be on Sunday, January 8, 2023. Because my sports marketer is going to the World Cup. He's going to be traveling to the World Cup to check out the events and get some pictures and see how USA and Canada are gonna fare it out. How things are gonna unfold at the 2022 World Cup event at Qatar. So, ladies and gentlemen, he's gonna spend some time there, and when he comes back, by the time he comes back, folks, it's gonna be it's Christmas, it's gonna be New Year's, and he's gonna spend time with his family and such. So that's why, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, we are gonna shut down Worldwide Sport Updates live podcast for Sundays. All right, for the remainder of the 2022 season. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, we will not resume operation until the year 2023, which we will begin back live podcasting on Sunday, January 8th, 2023. With that being said, folks, from Worldwide Sport Updates, this is coming from my sports marketer. He just wants to wish you, ladies and gentlemen, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. If we don't get the chance to see, say it to you all on the live podcast, he just wanted to say, he wanted me to let you guys know that he wishes you guys, ladies and gentlemen, a Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, and Happy Holidays. But, ladies and gentlemen, again, it's not gonna stop us from recording our podcast. We will definitely be recording podcasts each and every week of Friday, and we will send it out to you, on our YouTube page, YouTube channel, for the latest updates. So we will not let you down regarding that. And also, ladies and gentlemen, tune in to our sports pages on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram for all the latest sport events, sports news that transpired throughout the weekly basis. All right, we will definitely keep you always up to the loop on that, nonetheless. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. Again, continue to share it out, subscribe, like it, let it be known that this is Worldwide Sport Updates for all the latest sports updates that are happening. Have yourself a great weekend, folks, and we'll see you next Friday. Take it easy, stay blessed, and stay safe out there, sports family. Take it easy. Bye-bye.